And so that's bringing us in to this episode. Welcome, Romulans and Romuladies, to your friendly neighborhood wizard Nerdcast. Yes, it is that time of the week again, and I know you're all excited to crack open whatever shitty beer you have left over in your fridge and snuggle up to a face full of steaming hot nerdiness.
Sounds gross.
As you know, my name is Jane, and this is my mostly bespectacled squad of miscreants. Say hello, miscreants.
Marion.
DK.
Tonelli.
Yeah, so that weed that we just smoked. This week...
Continuing if you'd ever hurry up.
Alright, yeah, let me pause and hit the bowl.
Or dead air.
At least people smoke the bowl into the microphone or something.
That is true.
There you go. That works.
That's
Okay,
a Powerpuff
so-
Girl if I've ever seen one.
This week, we're going to talk about the Evil Dead remake, as well as the awesomeness that is The Last Night on Earth, the epic board game in which half the players must survive the other half as they try to cannibalize them.
Ew.
But first, let's catch up. What have you guys been up to this last week since we were together?
What, since the new year?
Yeah, it is the new year. It is a new year,
For us.
guys.
I don't know when you're going to be
That
listening
sums up
to
what I've been up to.
this. Yeah.
Coffee.
So,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
we all had very special New Year's, apparently.
Apparently.
Well, we saw the new Hobbit.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? How was it?
It was really cool.
Yeah.
But no storyline. But it's okay. Like that's fine. It's just the war. It's the whole thing is
Right.
the war.
There was a storyline with Thor
Yeah,
and...
two other movies into it. Before it. It's a fucking
Like-
story.
It was one book.
And you know
I
what?
know, that's what I'm
book.
saying. Like, I sold 2 movies, and I was okay with it, and then when he decided to stretch to 3.
And spoilers, but you know what really drew me right out of it was like, and like it was cool, and everything was cool about it. I love the movie.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong on this, but 5 minutes in, they kill Smaug, which is fine. That's
Yeah,
what
that's
happens
what I
at the end of
heard.
it. But it kind of like stutter steps the momentum of the movie. It's just like, here's this giant conclusion. Now we're gonna sit in this cave in this hill for a while, and we're gonna chill out and have some dramatic moments.
Well,
and it's like, well, we just
that's
had
what
this
it was.
crazy shit going on.
Right.
See, what they did was they took that really drawn-out moment in the book and made it a drawn-out visual. Which, in the book, there's a lot of intrapersonal, like...
Reflective.
Yeah,
pensive
a lot
shit,
of, like,
yeah.
coming to themselves in, like, Thorin and even like,
overtly
Legolas
sexual
with his
sentence.
parents and everything. But it's all, like... when you put it on the screen, when you put it on the big screen, it becomes too much drama. It's like a little heavy in the back of the mouth.
I just think they should have wrapped up the Smaug thing at the end of Desolation of Smaug and then shown a clip of Thor and being all crazy in the hill, and I would have come back for more. Mm-hmm. Like, they should have just wrapped up the storyline with the last storyline.
That guy down again. It's fucking 2 seconds in.
No.
That thing popped.
No.
Shit. That thing popped again. It was really almost
Stop breaking the chair.
I'm breaking my own chair.
You guys are probably
Next
going to have to
week.
switch chairs at some point.
No,
He's
no
going to
worries.
break the
You guys
chair.
put me in this one, and I am too comfortable.
Listen, I got duct tape holding up my microphone stand at the moment. We'll be alright.
Get out of
Just
there
duct
with
tape that shit.
The Hobbit, what is that a spin-off? Is that Lord of the Rings, or is that...
It's the prequel
The
to the Lord
prequel
of
to
the
the
Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
You killed me.
I've never seen any of them.
Isn't this so weird?
It really is.
Sally, do you know that DK has never seen any of the Star Wars movies?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not.
Really?
I love Bebe's kids, though. That's why
Is it like Bebe's kids? That's your point of reference for everything. I like it. I just finally saw Citizen Kane for the first time. You know, it wasn't bad. You should really see it, man. I think you'd like it. Is it like Bebe's kids?
it's an awesome movie.
It's not an awesome movie. It's not like the fuck was it?
By the way, like, not even a minute in, I just said your name.
Yeah.
For the record, the audience is going to hear some weird noise from the lighter, 1. And 2, when I figure out what I want to do every time I say like his name. So I'm just going to get him out right now.
Lightning!
Don't worry, I won't. I
You just can
promise.
keep it. Whatever.
If you-
Nah, she don't want.
now it's gonna be fun.
By all means. No, it's you.
No, that'll be a big reveal one day, dude. People will tune in for the revealing of what DK stands for.
It's like that episode, The Name of the Doctor and shit.
That was bullshit.
It
Which,
was!
kind of misleading.
What
but
was it?
Kinda.
The what?
This is the second time.
Another thing, another franchise DK has no nerd stock in.
What is? What is
Doctor
it?
Who.
Doctor Who, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This,
No, don't bother.
my dildo here,
My light up dildo. Wait,
It
have
looks
you
like
seen?
a painful fucking dildo.
It does look like it would hurt.
this is the
For the
Pebble
record, it
Doctor
doesn't come
sonic
back out.
screwdriver.
It's Matt Smith's 11 and it pops. And yeah, that would definitely hurt as a dildo. Imagine
Yeah.
hitting the wrong button then.
That's like a cat dick right there.
That's
what
like that
is.
Total Recall shit. When
Yeah,
you
the
fucking
tongue.
rip the
Yeah.
thing out.
Yep.
That was fucking ear. Wasn't
And
it?
that makes me think of the, Dante's Inferno.
Inferno. Dante's
Wait, is it Dante's
Why
Inferno?
Dante's Inferno?
That game.
Dante's
The game.
Inferno.
Yeah,
Devil May
there's
Cry.
a game Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, that game. The bitches
Oh,
with the
the game.
tongues in their
Oh, okay.
titties.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Why
was
would I think
intense
you were
as hell.
talking
That
about
game.
Yeah.
literary works.
Me and her
Li-
fucking sat
well,
It
there
is.
I mean-
It's based on that. Yeah.
for like
Is it?
hours.
Yeah.
It's a crazy game. You
Play it.
fight through all the levels of hell.
See, okay, I'll give.
Awesome.
I can't give him shit because the game portion of our world, I don't.
This is where you two balance out.
Yeah, like I haven't
Yeah.
been into games since the first Sonic the Hedgehog came out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
like
see,
I
this
really.
is-
Which, by the way, I
Finale
have
soft
every
spot.
iteration of Sonic except for Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine for Sega Genesis. That's
So,
the only one I can't
we
find.
can do that at some point.
If
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
has a copy of Mean Bean Machine, I will pay you money for it.
You guys want to play Sonic after the show?
Can't.
Why?
Because you'll be sitting like 3 feet away from the
Oh,
projector
fuck!
I wanted to play Sega, and he said no, we can't because the cords are only like so long.
screen.
And for some
original Sega chords.
and for some reason, these guys decided to put on a giant fucking projector.
Projected screen. Yeah,
Which-
they don't have a television. They have a 6x6 foot fucking projector screen in the middle of their living room.
Something inch.
It's fucking ridiculous.
But you know what? When we play Destiny, it's
Oh, it's
fucking
so
Oh, I bet it looks
amazing.
fucking amazing. Yeah.
You should
It's
see that actually before you
amazing.
leave. Just take a look at the
Yeah.
game. It's incredible.
By the way, a couple minutes to talk about this right here. This fucking game. Like, if you like Borderlands, and if you
What are you
like
talking about,
Halo,
Yeah.
and if you like Killzone,
Call of Duty, like any first-person shooter.
even if you like
Is that what it is?
Bioshock and Tomb
But also it's
Raider
third-person
and
only.
Skyrim,
No,
you will
no.
like Destiny. Play that shit. It's one player, like
Massive multiplayer online.
yeah, online
like-
though. It's a single console.
Yeah.
So
It's like Halo and
I just said that.
it plays like Halo and Borderlands combined. And
It's
then
an RPG.
and then the
like-
way the world is styled kind of reminds you of like
Yeah.
a Warcraftian style, like open world game where you can travel anywhere on Earth, the Moon, Venus, and Mars.
See, I've always been interested in them because they look. I mean, some of them look great. I mean, just visually, they're beautiful. But
See-
I don't know. I
What,
occupied
first-person
my time.
shooters?
Yeah. Before I occupied my time with reading all the comics. Now I occupy my time with a kid. So
Ugh.
like,
Right.
Yeah.
but I mean,
Time's
it's
usually
still-
occupied.
Yeah, I just
See-
wants to like
that's-
throw
that's
that in
my
our
excuse.
face.
What, that he has a kid and we don't?
I mean, I used to constantly.
You
now
can
I
have
a
him
kid.
if you want. You want to have him for a little bit, and
Hey,
then
I got my own issues.
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
legs.
he's got a
Yeah,
dog,
four legs.
Legs.
a cat.
Way more destructive at this point.
I'm telling you, I love my son, but if somebody would have sat me down in health class and instead of teaching sex ed, put a baby teething in the middle of the living room and or the middle of your classroom and you had to calm him down, I might not have had children.
Right,
Like
yeah.
it's at 1 o'clock in the morning when you got to be up for work at fucking 5. Like that's the kind of shit where like I love my son to death, but I want to throw him into his crib sometimes. Completely understand shaken baby syndrome. It's
Right.
terrible, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand why it happens.
Yeah, you get it. You haven't done it, but you get it.
Right.
Like, honey, can you pass the 6? I'll let you one.
This is the cutest thing because we sat here last week and every time you went to light a cigarette, you lit 2 and one was for her.
Her
That-
too.
That is
Yeah.
the most No, I didn't see her do it once.
Are you
last
kidding me?
week.
I do it all the
Not
time.
last week when we were
Are you
recording.
kidding me?
Not when we were recording because
I've been living a lie.
he lit up almost that entire pack last week. and split them off. I think I saw you light up one cigarette, and it was for you specifically. Like that was it.
Listen, ain't
it's
nobody got time for
adorable
that.
when he does it. For you, it's just like
You want to suck his dick?
I don't think you do. No, I definitely don't.
Well then.
I mean, I'm almost at that point now. Like maybe another week goes by, and we might go back to having this conversation again.
Probably.
We can revisit this.
Every week, somebody's dick will be spoken about. So.
Spoken.
Spoken.
I have no problem talking about my penis, none whatsoever. It's my problem is getting
Dick
someone
talk?
else to
Is
talk
that going to be a
my
segment?
Dick
penis.
talk?
Dick talk.
Dick talk?
I can dick talk all day. Let's do
Mine's
this.
starting to curve to the left a little more lately.
I just wish
Mine
mine
just hangs
would,
low.
I wish it had enough to make that curve. Like it starts to dip down a little bit, but then stops. What?
Well.
I still love that line from It's Always Sunny that they took from Ryan Dunn, and that it looks like a button on a fur coat.
Not a fur yeah.
That is beautiful. That is such an apt description right now.
I think I feel working in a freezer.
Yeah,
I
fuck
got
all
all. It's
that.
like digging through fucking it's
Yeah,
like
no,
bushwhacking.
fuck that
actually.
noise.
Yeah, you big
I
Bush
cannot
supporter,
do that.
Dan.
Big push.
I have again no problems with anything.
I got no
Feet out of
response
my
for that.
feet,
Sorry.
Space.
That was a good
sitting
one.
on your feet. Calm down.
I am looking forward to getting a tattoo down there.
Of like a little guy mowing the lawn.
No, of me with binoculars. So it'll be me like peeking through the bushes.
You just shave like into a V. Like, so it's
And
like,
all they're just looking at you.
no, just
like,
yeah,
while
it's
they're
like one hand pulling down, the other hand with the binoculars, so that you can
Or
shave
just
it
like,
like that.
tattoo me like with a big thumbs up.
Yeah.
Like while they're down there, they get to see me through.
Oh my god.
You know what?
That
I've heard of some
that is
very,
something
very
else.
creative comic book related like dick tattoos.
How do you wait?
One of which was Mr. Fantastic,
All right.
which is like that makes perfect
That's-
sense because he stretches.
Right.
And then, but the other one, my favorite one, was this dude apparently got Spider-Man on his pelvis, and his arm ran down the length of his fucking dick, and like on the side of his dick it said "thwip" for the web noise. That's fantastic.
That's that. All right, I'll give you that one.
No,
That's
that's
good.
great. Like, painful, but great.
Fuck all that. Like I don't like somebody flicking my dick, let alone a needle going to my dick. Like,
Yeah,
fuck
no,
all that.
that's too much.
And there ain't no staying hard for that shit. Like,
No, that's,
Yeah.
I don't even think Viagra would keep
yeah,
you up
right.
all
Even
night.
that little blue pill we were talking
No.
about earlier wouldn't work.
You can
for
take a
that.
hockey fucking puck blue pill.
I want that little clear pill they have in Limitless. Oh my god, if I had that little pill, I would just
Oh,
What, the brain pill?
yeah. That is like the perfect drug, man, right
That's
there.
Adderall.
No, that's like super
That's like,
Adderall.
yeah. All right,
So,
where we at? Yeah,
Host.
So let's talk about Evil Dead. Evil Dead 2013 is the reimagining of the 1981 Sam Raimi flick, The Evil Dead. And Evil Dead 2013,
Evil Dead.
written and directed by Fede Alvarez.
Handpicked by Sam Raimi.
Yeah, he was one of his canon right there. It got 12 nominations, and of those 12 nominations, it won 9 awards.
For what?
Were any of them Razzies?
Yeah, they were all Brazzers awards, actually.
He said
He said
Razzies.
Razzies.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
I said Brazzers. So we've got they start off with the same amount of characters. Okay, there's 5 people. That's 3 girls, 2 guys. All different names. They all go to a cabin in the woods for a different reason. And the 2013 one's a little dramatic. It's much more fucking.
There's more of a storyline.
Yeah, there's
right,
more of a
there's more
storyline,
story.
As
you know.
opposed to be like, I went to the woods this day. Like,
Yeah, no, they're going there because their friend is a junkie and they're going there to sober her.
yeah.
Yeah, so she dumps her heroin down the well and says, fuck this shit, I'm never doing it again. And immediately goes into withdrawal.
Yeah, but even like the
So-
very beginning, they had more story to it too. Like they were
Yeah.
sacrificing. Oh, I forget. I just
Oh, like as
The
watched
far
witch-
as the book and the
Yeah,
rituals
The
Right,
witch
go.
shit,
right,
yeah. Like, they
Which
sacrificed.
I appreciate and all, but I like Raimi's version of it.
Oh,
better.
of course, because it's more 80s horror. You know, everybody loves the 80s horror. Give me your opinion on the movies.
Versus?
Mare.
Or like just individually, how do I feel about them?
Well, go ahead. You got a couple minutes to talk about
Individually.
Whatever you want.
Individually, then versus.
Yeah.
All right. Sam Raimi. I've always loved the Evil Dead franchise.
Hell yeah.
So I've been very, very big on that for a long time. And Ash is like really an important part of that for me. So the remake, I understand. It's like I get it, but I'm still disappointed. Like I get that they don't want to try and replace Bruce Campbell, so they just kind of avoided that altogether. And then, but like I don't know. I really like him in there as well. I feel like I kind of wanted a cameo too for some reason, but again, I get it. Like, what's he gotta do? Just walk up randomly and knock on the
credits. Yeah, that after the credits scene. That's all we got.
Yeah, exactly.
Groovy.
But I like, I don't know, something about the original. I like the low budget aspect of it, but the new one was the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like it got so fucking vicious. Like,
yeah.
For the record, spoilers, because we're gonna be talking about some specific scenes.
Evil Dead 2013. It's past 6 months. Spoiler rules are
Fair
officially.
But nevertheless, I'll give a free heads up. Whatever. But the fucking needle in the bathroom scene, like, was the worst. And that poor dude just wouldn't die.
Oh
like,
my
he just
God.
would not die.
Poor Eric.
Like, I wanted him
What's
to
his
die
name?
so bad just for his sake. Like, it wasn't even like I hated him. I was just like, you poor thing, you've put up with so much. And he's still trying to do it. Like, he's still trying to be brave and shit. Like, but he's just getting, like, arms chopped off, like...
When you fucking hit him in the hand and, like, you see his fingers just...
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
he doesn't get his arm chopped off.
She
That's
cuts her arm off.
Yeah, she
that's
cuts
later.
her
She
arm
cut-
off up here.
You watched it more recently than I might.
and then the chick at the end, the Mia, the junkie, ends up like
she
ripping
breaks
her
off
arm,
arm,
like,
which I thought was like
crazy.
their way of kind
Homage
of
to
nodding
Ash.
to Ash cutting off his own arm for the chainsaw. I was really hoping she was gonna turn around in there and pick up a chainsaw, and I was just like,
Look,
I'd be okay with a girl Ash. Like,
she
it'd be cool with me.
put
you know?
the chainsaw on, and she said, "Feast on this motherfucker," and sawed through its face and right down its body. Like that was the most badass like murder sequence in a long time.
And what was her name?
Really
was
loved
it? What was it? Mia.
Her name was Mia. Yeah.
For the record, why didn't they just call her Ashley? Like, it's so,
Nobody
it's there.
Nobody
Like,
had similar names
the dude's
to anybody.
name was Ashley. Like,
Yeah.
It's like that's all they had to do, and like it would have been. So,
Oh,
I don't
wait.
know, but
They
I hope.
did it.
Go ahead.
They did it because all the 5 main characters, their first initials of all their names, it spells out demon.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's funny.
It's
I
clever.
didn't think about that.
yeah.
That's cool.
That's fun little
So,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, all in all, I like the original better than the remake, but I don't discount the remake at all. Like I love it. It's so great. It's just different.
Totally.
Like, that's all it is.
Totally. Tonelli, what do you think? What's your overall opinion?
Overall, I agree with Matt. The remake is good, and it was really good. And there were some jump moments, absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
But,
Completely, yeah.
They cut her
Some
fucking
cringing
cheek off,
moments.
shit,
The
like-
Witch was really cool.
No, right.
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
some of it was, but you can't beat tree rape in the first one.
Well, the
Yeah.
tree rape happened in the second.
Well, the
They
remake.
totally.
Yeah.
The remake,
Yeah.
the reimagining.
Remake.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
she got raped by
I don't
Vines.
remember it.
Yeah, when
Oh,
she-
by the vines. That's right.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
That's what it was
okay.
in the first
And
one.
it was
so-
complete,
the
and she escaped it. Like it was almost the exact same. Like
Yeah, they kept
scene,
that up.
you know.
I
It was
Because
really
that
good.
was like a fucking big deal. Like when that happened in the original one, people were like, "Why is this girl getting
Completely.
raped
And it
by
was
fucking
like-
plants?" Like,
It was so like, like they thrusted those fucking.
Oh yeah, it was
and it,
hard
like,
the
to
it
best
was-
part is like it's so fucking gratuitous. Like that does
Yeah,
not need to be
completely
in there at
unnecessary.
all. But it's so great though.
It
Like,
was the same thing with the Team America sex scene,
yeah,
which is, I've seen like memed all over the fucking place.
yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
ridiculous. But no,
The
just
Danny DeVito sex scene was awesome.
Oh gross. We're not gonna talk about Danny DeVito's sex scene.
this is like we're going back.
Oh god. I
He's
can
like,
just imagine
I
the
feel
penguin.
like a rat put on a human costume. And it's
Ate
like
all
just-
the
He's a
cupcakes.
goblin, man.
He
He's
really
a
is. The
fucking
man is a
goblin.
troll.
But he's great. Though.
I
He's a great
adore.
penguin.
I adore him.
Fucking
I
great
wouldn't
penguin.
touch him ever.
I would fucking carry him around on my back like a big
yeah.
backpack.
You may one day do that, maybe.
Yeah, he'll just grab his
So,
legs over and around my arms. Like,
So Tonelli, you're telling me you're still, you know.
No, I stick with the original just
Yeah.
because it for what it was and how they did it. Like even some of it just seemed more like even like okay, we're talking B movie, friends of friends, family shit. That when they shot this movie, like everything
but that was
so raw in Raimi's original. You know what I mean? Like if they were scared, it seemed like they were terrified.
Yeah.
And like not negating what the actors did in the new one. It's just the original has something over it.
I agree.
Sure.
It's the original is what we grew up on,
Right.
you know, and then we
not
came
only
into
that,
this,
but-
and this cast is actually a bunch of nobodies too, you
Right.
know, very cheaply made, but it, you know, when the shit happens, it happens. It looks
They
good.
definitely
Blood
spent
everywhere.
more money
Yeah.
on fake
The
blood
raining
than they did
blood
exactly.
Right.
At the
Yeah, right,
end,
exactly.
the raining blood at the end was
That was crazy.
phenomenal.
I
That
think
was
something
nuts.
that's important to remember too, and you kind of touched on it, is that when Evil Dead came out, like that was a way bigger deal. Like
Right.
is like that movie was a sign of the times as well. You know, it's like it's a big movie culturally because it really brought that style of like crazy fucking off the wall horror to like the public. light.
Completely. It
And
was
it
one
did-
of the earlier ones.
Yeah.
And it didn't come from anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it
Like,
was new.
There was no name.
It was
there
new.
was no.
Yeah.
There's no star in it. Not even familiar.
It's an
face.
underdog story
Right,
too.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what made Bruce Campbell. Everybody knows him as
Right.
Ash.
And I
3
love
Spider-Mans
Bruce
later.
Of course, of course.
That's great. I love those scenes.
So, DK,
Yep.
tell me how you feel. I know you have a different opinion than
Yeah.
everybody else
slightly
here so
different.
far.
I actually didn't see the original until like after I watched the remake.
Right.
So you were coming at it
You're
from a different
right.
angle.
Yeah,
Right.
so like I saw the original Evil Dead like very recently, and I don't know, like if I seen it as a kid, it would have been fucking cooler.
Yeah.
Just because like shit would have seemed.
You need to find that movie on VHS in a Blockbuster when you're a kid and somehow get the right clerk to rent it to you.
Right.
Yeah,
I thought you were
exactly.
telling me now to go to Blockbuster.
Or have a dad
No,
that's
like, do it.
obsessed with horror.
I don't think either of those things
So,
exist anymore.
You're
VHS
saying
or
you
fucking
have,
Blockbuster.
I had both.
but you were telling me earlier that you were bored.
During the original one, yes.
Yeah. So
I mean, it wasn't like my fault or the movie. I
No.
just fell asleep, and that's purely out of boredom.
it didn't keep you. It didn't
The
keep you.
redo actually kept me up.
Yeah,
Just
that shit
because
was
of, like,
scary,
all,
right?
Like the fucking nutty ass scenes they had. In there.
Yeah.
Like, fucking,
It gets
It
hard
was
to
constant. It was
Yeah, it
constant.
does.
And
Yeah.
like it's really hard. You want to look away, but it's like, you cringe. You feel it in your bones. So you're on Evil Dead, the reimagining side, Fede Alvarez.
yes.
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Well, it's funny, guys, because I wrote down some of the ratings that the movies were given. IMDb gave Evil Dead 2013 3 stars. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 3 stars, and so did Metacritic, for like a solid of like 6.
Out of what, 10 or
Yeah,
5?
6
Oh.
out of 10 about. And for Evil Dead 1981, IMDb gave it 4 stars. Rotten Tomato gave it 5 stars, and Metacritic gave it 3.5 stars.
Hells yeah.
So, they might have won less awards for the time because it was, a cult starter.
They're also coming at it from our point of view, our not DK, because these guys seen it just like we did. We saw the original first, and it sets to that standard.
Yeah.
And then you sit there and you go to see the remake, which for you, DK, was where your standard set. You know what
Exactly.
I mean? And then you're going backwards and you're watching B roll. You know what I mean?
Which, like, I can totally
Basically.
understand it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's way,
No, right.
like, it'll be way cheesier compared
Yeah.
to the new one. And I'm not saying, like, one's particularly better than the other. And a lot of people might not like the original if they've never seen it. But it's definitely a part of just, like, my growing up. So that's why I like it.
Don't get me wrong, I wanted to see it when I was a kid, but like you said, you got to find that right video store with the right clerk.
Right.
Yeah.
And who
right.
has it in stock. 'Cause it's not something that you'd ever see
gotta
on,
look
like,
for that shit.
HBO
Yeah.
or fucking, Showtime. Or
Yeah, it's one of
USA.
those things that stays under your skin when you're a kid
Certainly
and
will be
like
on
still
ABC
messes with
Family.
you. What is that?
It's time for Who Would Win.
Oh, you get those. Shut the sound off.
Really?
Like what the hell?
Let's get a hand motion next time. Or
I
something,
did.
will you?
You
What-
totally just got buzzed out.
Yeah.
Your time run out.
You got that fucking Emmy Award like song when the speech goes too long.
Yeah,
Gotta
so
get let off the stage, and
Right.
shit, like, fuck, man?
So,
Just cut the
edit.
prompt off.
Edit.
Turn her down, will you, next time? You alright over there, Jane?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Where are we at now?
Well, we're gonna do who would win. So,
We just completely stopped talking about Evil Dead.
Yeah, where do we sit?
Really, where do we sit, and where do you
10
sit?
minutes.
You asked him, me, and then you went on with critics.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
We need to know your opinion. I can't leave here tonight without knowing it.
Well, all right. Here's how I feel, because I have a couple things to say about Evil Dead. So, essentially, I feel that of all of the characters in the new one, in some way become Ash's character. They all pay homage to him. Like Eric, the whole time, the one that gets stabbed in the face, he's
The one who gets everything?
He's the one.
Yeah.
He gets beat up the most, and he's the one that goes into the basement and he finds the book, just like Ash, this guy goes into the basement and finds the tapes and the recordings and everything. The chick at the end, what's her face?
I don't think Ash was the one that actually found them.
No, he went down to the basement and
They went down to the basement because I just watched this. The door opened up. The basement door swung open, and him and the other Scotty, something.
Ash went down there and found them?
Ash
I thought it
and-
was the other
Yeah,
dude.
no,
Ash
Ash went
and
down. Scotty
with-
went after him.
Right.
Because like he was down there for a minute, and then he went down and he seen the shit
the
laying
book
there.
and the tape recorder.
Yeah, I really thought it was real visible, and like you could see, like I said earlier, you could feel it, and that shit with the needle terrifies me. You know what I mean? And like
It made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was
That's
really
hard to do
like
these
when
days.
the crowbar scene.
Yeah.
She's fucking whacking
When
him
he
with the
fucking put his
crowbar.
hand up to
Put his
block
hands
it.
up, and fucking
Oh,
4 of his
shit.
fingers
Yeah, and,
get
like-
wrenched backwards. And that shit is so
Crowbar backwards.
it's so hard to not look away, and that shit was difficult to watch. I absolutely adore Army of Darkness. I absolutely adore Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi, and I love The Evil Dead. And I would have, in the end, if I were to give it a score, I would give it 4.5 out of 5, and I would give the new one a 4, just because of the whole junkie thing. I hate that shit. Like, I really do. I think it's, like, corny. Like, there wasn't a story in the first one. It didn't have to be dramatic. It was good because it was...
I don't
They
mind
said
it.
They spent more money on fake blood than they did on their actors.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
they're definitely
That last scene with the rain. I mean, Christ, even if half of it was
Raining
real.
blood.
yeah.
Which, why didn't they just play that song already?
Rain and blood.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, totally. So,
You're gonna
yeah.
sing
So what are we?
Whisper
What are
Sing.
split on that?
We're pretty, I'm not saying I'm saying the new
remake
one
over.
over. I like them both for their own things. Like, this is, like, in my heart. I watched this shit when I was a child. You know what I mean? Like,
In your heart.
I grew up with
Heart.
it. Like,
Yeah.
this was what my dad was always into and stuff, so it's always there. But
That's why I love Clue and Hellraiser. That's
2013,
what I grew up
Evil Dead 2013, one of the best horror
And Bebe's
movies in forever. It makes you jump, it makes you feel it, and it makes you kind of scared too. So,
Fuck
Yeah.
Bebe's kids. Sorry.
He's awesome.
That's fucking great. Fuck. Can't.
Jesus
How do you
Christ.
like Bebe's kids?
He made me download it for him, for the record.
I have it on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
That.
And also, he downloaded the entire series of Are You Afraid of the Dark for me.
Oh, I love that show.
Yeah.
That's-
Know
that
what?
was-
No, you don't.
I know.
You
It
think
doesn't
you do.
hold up. I
You
know.
think
Nothing
you do,
holds the
yeah.
fuck up anymore.
It's so disappointing.
I went back and watched the cartoons this past week, like our cartoons when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Some of them definitely do not hold up in any
sure.
sense of the word, man.
You know what does, though? Like, the ones you don't really think about. Like, Rocco's Modern Life holds up really well.
Absolutely.
Like, Rugrats does.
Hey Arnold,
You know
even
what
holds
holds
up
up?
pretty
Doug.
well. Doug.
Like,
What
Yeah,
else holds up
forever.
pretty good is, like, the Nickelodeon game show things. Like, you
Oh,
go back and watch, like,
Hidden-
the
Hidden
Double
Temple.
Dare.
Global Guts.
Legends
Global
of the
Guts.
Hidden Temple,
Legends
But
of
still,
the-
Double
I love that
Dare's
shit.
that one was
my
great.
shit.
Yeah,
Mark
Mark
Summers.
Summers.
Yeah.
Mark Summers is this shit.
Yeah,
So, now can we do who would win?
Yeah, all right, let's do who would win.
All right, so who would win? We have a bunch of scenarios in a bowl, and we're going to choose one. And in a bowl and next to a bowl. We'll talk about
Even
the
though we
next
have
to the bowl
two
ones
bowls
later.
on the table.
And one is a Super
There
Bowl.
will be two types of scenarios. The first types are we're each going to read a normal scenario in which somebody goes up against somebody in
Or some
the
people go up
superhero
against some
world,
people.
the movie world, whatever, books, whoever you might want. And then we argue about it. So, and then afterwards we will choose one completely bullshit.
Which I have
scenario.
to thank your buddy.
Yes.
Just because he was the only one we got a response for.
I know.
Off of the Facebook page, and that is in the now giant bowl instead of being on the table.
Yes.
So that is a very good possibility that
Thank you
hopefully
to
we'll
Jay for suggesting something.
Since he was the only one in our first one, we should just do it off anyway.
Yeah, you know
All
what?
right,
We're
maybe.
totally gonna read your suggestion, Jay Straw.
I think so. All right. Well, let's start with the normal
Yes.
bowl first.
Who
You want me
wants to choose?
I'll do it.
Mix them up. Somebody mix them up.
Why? Do you know how they went in there?
So I'm just gonna read it out loud, and whoever read it or whoever wrote it is gonna be the moderator as we all argue, and we'll ask that person questions.
I don't remember what I put in there now.
Sweet.
I really don't.
I do, because mine's the shit.
Who had the red pen? Oh, DK.
I don't know if he'll be good at it, though, because he said he hasn't been in a video game since...
Well, we'll find
We'll
out.
find out.
Kratos from God of War versus Dante from Devil May Cry. I know my answer already.
The only one I know off there is God of War. So I've got to go with him on that alone. But
Kratos, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, honey.
Wow.
what?
Wow, DK. That is hard. That's what she said.
Not lately.
Yeah, not to you, I imagine.
You know, unfortunately, this is going to come out every fucking podcast
Yeah.
until I get piece of ass again.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Fuck.
probably. So,
Most likely.
All right, listen. So
make
if
with
you
the
wanna,
real doll.
Fuck all that.
We'll start a Kickstarter.
You can.
For,
You can fuck all of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care.
We'll
That's
start
the
a
point.
Kickstarter for your real doll. We'll plug that one later.
Dude, they're like $5,000.
I
That better be a hell of a
suppose.
Kickstarter.
I suppose Kratos is a god, but Dante has killed gods and devils and demons and angels and like all
They're
that
pretty
crazy
evenly
shit.
matched.
They are very evenly matched. I'd say they'd be drinking in the bar after the fight when they both just kind of gave up of boredom.
All right.
They end up just settling it in an arm wrestling match.
Yeah.
Stallone over the top style.
If it had to end if it had to end like that in an arm wrestling match, I think Kratos would probably have it.
For
so.
sure. I'll give you that, but
I'd
that's
say it
stupid.
would be a draw by default, but Kratos would win because of the arm wrestling match. What do you think, Mar?
Yeah, so they fight and they don't have a winner, so they're like, "Hey, let's just arm wrestle."
Let's arm wrestle. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, definitely.
I have questions, which I think we should be doing, because this may change your opinions. I don't know.
Can't change my fucking opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. Kratos from what game? Like, where are we at in his timeline when he's fighting Dante?
I would say both are at their final games.
Like, their peak?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's this new Dante?
The new Dante.
Okay. And he's in, like, Super Saiyan mode and shit, right?
Yeah, he gets to be super. But Kratos can do the same thing.
They all have their weapons?
They all have all their weapons.
Dante.
They're fully loaded.
Dante, for sure.
You're going Dante?
It's just, he's got guns. Like,
He's got guns.
he's got guns and aim. Like,
And a cool devil sword.
it's true. And a cool fucking angel scythe. Like, well, it's opposite, right? One's an axe, one's a scythe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one's like a chain blade. The angel sword's like a chain blade. and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. But yeah, Dante all the way, man. Like, I've seen him kill way more ridiculous shit than I've seen Kratos kill.
True.
And that's
True.
even giving Kratos that he's fought gods. But like, something about what Dante's fought and like done, like, I give it to him easily.
All right. So
I
we
like
got
that one.
Dante one and a tie.
Yeah.
let's call that on them because, like I said, I don't. All I know is the God of
Well, I'll
War.
moderate. Or you can moderate. Then I'll give an answer for it
shit,
because I know both of them very well.
You just I mean, you should throw in your opinion too.
Yeah,
Why not?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a tough one. That's why I threw it in there because I didn't want
I
to
like
make this
it.
decision.
Yeah.
Well, now you're the tiebreaker.
See,
Yeah.
now you know the pain.
It's not really a tiebreaker.
No, right?
I can make it a
Yeah,
tie.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Which is what
This
we're trying
jerk
to
had
avoid.
to. It's a tie.
What do you want to tell you?
We actually decided to only have 3 votes, so
Okay,
we would not
listen.
end in a tie.
Listen.
And our first decision.
All right.
was a tie.
Kratos wins. I just want to hear your opinion. Like,
All right.
I'm just curious. Don't worry about the tie.
I would say Kratos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're wrong, but why?
I
Well,
hear what
'cause-
you're saying, but
Because you're just saying he's got like what guns and
That's not the only
axe
reason.
thing, whatever.
And the scythe.
But fucking Kratos got like crazy magic power. Like he could turn that motherfucker into stone.
Yo, he's got crazy
And
magic
fucking
powers too.
Kick him.
He's fought fuckers that turn people into stone and kick.
No, his stone people didn't kick. Alright? Because he was fighting Balrog from Street Fighter. He don't know kicking.
Yeah, it's true. He
Balrogs
does not
from
know.
Lord of the Rings.
He does not know kicking.
You shall not
Either way, they don't.
pass.
What are you doing?
Okay,
Fair
so
enough.
But
you're
yeah,
saying Kratos.
I'm saying Kratos.
And you
So
know
that's
what?
an
I'm going to
overwhelming
go with
for Kratos.
Dante.
Because he
Actually,
beat fucking Ares.
You just changed your mind?
yeah, I'm changing my mind because Dante is
Because I
incredible.
asked some questions and beat
Dante's
some points.
incredible.
Up top.
Okay.
Yeah, slap
That's
hands.
pretty clean.
That's
Yeah.
pretty solid.
Slap
Yeah.
hands.
I didn't think it was going to happen there for a second. There was a nice hesitation period.
No,
Yeah,
we know
well.
what we're doing.
We're on cue.
It's the lineup.
Yeah. It's all about the elbow. You just watch
So
the elbow.
it looks like we got 2 Dantes and a Kratos for a total of Dante winning.
Well, 2 Dantes, 2 Kratos,
Yeah,
1 by
that's
default.
What the total is.
Well, yeah,
Right,
Kratos
right,
is by
right.
default. But
So, fair enough. All
yeah,
right.
let's go for number 2.
So if we're picking 4, why don't we pick 2 of each? Why don't I pick a completely bullshit one?
Well, we're gonna pick a completely bullshit, clearly bullshit, and Jay Strauss will read. Which we
I
should.
was just shuffling them.
We
up.
should
Be
dig
drinking
out of
Jay
there.
Straws right now.
No, we'll
No,
do
wait,
that.
you're
later.
gonna open
There you go.
No.
I'm gonna. No, it's not.
It's in purple, and it's pointy.
Who had the black pen?
It wasn't me.
Who's
Wait,
the
I
Doctor
did.
versus Darth Vader?
That's her.
Ah, that was me.
Dr.
That was-
Hoover. Oh,
yeah.
my fucking... what do you call
DK,
it?
you're gonna moderate this because you don't know either of them, and I have strong opinions on this.
He knows who Darth Vader is.
I don't really know him, but
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 he
he
doesn't
knows
know.
personally,
right?
He's never
no,
seen.
we haven't gone to Applebee's yet.
No,
But
no,
you-
you moderate your question. That's
But-
the way it goes. If
Crazy
you
has a
if
big
you put
appetite,
weird
though.
people in there, you gotta see that coming.
But he's never seen. They're
Wow,
both.
And he's
really
never
good.
played
And I never played
Devil May
Exactly,
Cry.
That's why you were like moderator.
No,
No,
that's not how this
that's
works.
Not how that works.
You gotta
Shut
give
up.
it to her. You're in on this, DK.
Yeah.
Alright.
Because DK needs his chance to cast some votes, man.
He's not gonna
And
make
you can give your opinion
But
afterwards.
he's not gonna make any good points.
I'm not.
That's fine.
But
But that's the point of this.
Hold on. This is her fault because she knew.
Straight up.
I
She
did not
knew what
know
we were
either
gonna be
of them.
doing.
Right,
Well,
she
but I
knew-
wanted to, you know what?
We
I
don't-
want to hear other
We don't have
people's
rotating
opinions, too.
cast members.
So DK, give your voice first. Let's
Okay.
hear it.
Who is Doctor Who anyway? What does he do?
Doctor Who is a time.
Why
Lord.
don't me and Mark go first?
Yeah. Why don't we do
Yeah.
this? And then we'll go into the explanation of both.
He'll
of them.
he'll hear both of our points.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Which we may very well have 2 different points.
It's
Right,
very true.
Let's do it that way.
All right. Go ahead, man. You're first.
I'll go first.
I got this, DK.
Okay, ML.
Darth
Major
Vader.
League.
Darth Vader for me all the way. A couple of reasons. And I know the points that are going to be made. Like, one is going to be Sonic Screwdriver is going to turn off the lightsaber because it can mess with electronics. Or Vader's fucking shebang in his chest. Which he has like a respirator base. Well, he's part android basically.
He's
Like,
mostly robot.
yeah, he's just kind of pieced together. So there's a fair side for Doctor Who there. But at the same time, again, we don't know how the sonic screwdriver works particularly, but it is based somewhat in science. Star Wars is a world that, Star Wars is a world where technology has gone pretty far, and this dude is a living android, which means there are probably people who have figured out, hey, a good way to fuck with people who are mostly androids is to use an electromagnetic pulse of some sort or shut it off. So you would think there's probably some sort of fail-safes in there to prevent that. Not only that, but I think even if he was to be shut off, Darth Vader would have enough time to force choke him out. Doesn't matter which doctor it is. I'm not even going to ask the question.
All right.
Oh, although, which doctor is it?
Your favorite doctor.
No, you got to pick one. You're the moderator.
My doctor. Who's my doctor? It's
loser.
gonna be 10. 10's my doctor.
Tennant.
Yeah.
Tennant.
10.
David Tennant. Yeah, so he's gonna die.
Well, then we get Matt Smith. So
Yeah.
Right.
fucking
So
kill
there
him.
you
We
go.
got Capaldi. Let's keep going.
Yeah, and Capaldi's angry. So
I mean, like,
Fucking
his eyebrows will kill Darth Vader.
look at it this way, like
got
Force
beer
lightning, like he can do so much stuff before he goes down. Like it's just Vader, just science.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Yeah, science.
Denali.
No, you know exactly where I'm standing on it, because the Doctor, you knew it the minute you said Darth Vader.
Yeah.
No, I think the Doctor wins, even if you take the screwdriver out of his equation.
I'm the tiebreaker.
All right? Even if you take the screwdriver out of the equation, which has happened on multiple occasions, it gets fried or like.
A lot of time he doesn't have the screwdriver.
Yeah, like he fried it when he was with the Jadoon on Martha's first episode when they were on the moon. Like it gets fried all the time.
Or he gave it to River Song.
Right, he gave his the River Smong. Matt Smith when
Smong.
whatever Smong. I'm high. Leave me alone.
Not high enough.
He's-
Back the ball.
He's always
DK, did you guys?
Tennant,
I didn't get
Smith,
any
Smith more so than anybody. But Tennant's Doctor, quick talking. He still had a little bit of Nine's anger. You know what I mean? I think he would outwit Darth Vader.
I mean, if you want to talk about anger, though, like,
But still, I think he would outwit Vader all the way.
I think they're beyond outwitting at that point, though. Like Sith Lords in general, like their training requires
Their
them to
mental
abandon
capacity is
everything.
way,
You know,
like-
But even still, he didn't abandon everything because what happened with him and Luke? You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean,
He was mind
He
fucking
still
him
had-
though. He wasn't
Yeah,
trying to be
but-
like, Luke, dude, hang out with me. He's just like, Luke, dude, calm down for a second so I can stab you to death.
Yeah,
That's
but
really
then
what
it-
it was.
it's
The
Like,
still-
Emperor wants you, so let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know. You still got him as the ghost, the happy ghost on the good side. You know what I mean? At the end of.
the shred of what's left of him. That's the thing.
All right,
though.
yeah, but I mean, he still had that emotional weakness to his son. It was there. There was no doubt. So he couldn't have even been at that point. You know what I mean?
I feel like Darth Vader ends up being like an amalgam of all of like Doctor Who's greatest villains, though. You know,
No, you're right, because he's got. You talked about the robot. I mean, the Cybermen, the
he's
Dalek.
the emotionless quality
But-
of that, the fucking
Right.
conniving of the Master, the
And I'll-
fucking heartless anger, rage of the
Right.
fucking Daleks. Like, it's a lot of shit packed into one package there.
I don't know.
Black package.
One black, yeah, right. With a great black voice.
So you're saying you're going with the Doctor,
I
Janelli?
still say Doctor.
Fair enough. I respect it.
So unfortunately, we tied, and now DK.
DK.
So now
Don't
you've
know
heard some
neither of these
opinions.
people.
All right.
But I am gonna have to go with. You know what? Yeah, it's up there. Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Because
forced
you
me
can
into
play
it.
him in Mortal Kombat.
Do you?
No, you can't.
Wait.
No, Soul
Soul
Calibur,
Calibur.
that is.
Do you really like? All right, I know you've never seen them, and you probably don't know the stories. But do you nothing? You don't know anything about the character whatsoever.
No.
Even pop culture passing by, coming into this house.
That's why I threw him
He
the high
lives
five,
under
because
a
I know
rock,
as little as he
Janelli.
does know, he knows more about Darth Vader than
Than
he does about Doctor Who. So I was
What I
just like,
know
"Here you
about
go, Vader."
fucking Doctor Who is he fucking hangs down some, what is it, mailbox, elevator?
Yeah, it's a mailbox elevator.
It looks like a mailbox, but
It's a
everyone
police
says
box.
it's a police box.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, a fucking police box. So it's like some retard having fun in a fucking box by
Some
himself. When Darth Vader is like sitting on a fucking, what is it called? The
Star
Death
Destroyer?
Death Star. Just the fucking name of it is like.
But but wait, Family Guy
Star
pointed it
made
out.
of death.
But wait, Family Guy pointed it out that they had their whole Death Star can be destroyed by a hole in the top, in the center.
All right, so then
One shot.
let's
It's-
ask this
it's
question
gone.
then. Where's this fight happening?
Yeah, okay, good point. Where's this fight happening?
Because if it's on the
Walmart.
Death Star, I'll give it to Doctor Who.
Right? Are we
Because
talking?
he's gonna find that weakness.
Right.
Anywhere else, I don't think so, though. In the TARDIS.
Could that be a crazy fight in the TARDIS?
That'd be
No,
fun.
you couldn't have the fight in the TARDIS.
You could have the
not?
fight in the TARDIS, and I'd
You
still
so
give it to
could.
Vader.
The fight's gonna happen
On the
on
Death Stardust.
Trenzalore.
Trenzalore?
Yes, that's where the fight's gonna happen.
Doctor with his army of the fucking silence behind him, because that was one cool ass fucking scene in that.
That's cool because you know what? Darth Vader, Luke's dad.
It's true. It is true.
He's got Luke on his
Yeah,
side.
but you know what?
The
Yeah, but
same.
he's
Darth
got
Vader-
incest kissing kids. Like fuck.
Darth
Who gives a
Vader
fuck?
is
If you on my
Anakin
side,
Skywalker.
make out with
They're
your
both
sister.
Jedi. He's fucking just spawning Jedi. He
Yeah.
don't even give a shit,
You know what
man.
I mean? Bring on Chewbacca.
Bring on the Chewie. The
You know what I
Chewies.
mean?
Yeah. Come
Bring
on,
me them
Chewbacca's.
fucking trash can robot thing.
I love when people pluralize Chewbacca. It makes
All
me
right.
happy. It's
So
like when you say
DK,
Dracula's.
To wrap it up,
That
DK
only works
is
for us.
Darth
DK is
Vader.
going with Darth Vader. I
call bullshit, but that's
to put
Darth
so that
Vader
means
wins.
Darth Vader wins. I
Ooh, that was a little off-center.
love personally
There.
both of these. I couldn't vote because Darth Vader could force choke the Doctor, and the Doctor could probably find a weakness depending on where it is. So I really couldn't.
Why'd you get all hyped then? Like you had a
So-
definitive answer.
Because like you're right. Like
Are they
listening
dirty
to you
fighting, or
guys-
is there rules in this
Listening to you
fight?
guys
Sorry
talk
about
about it, I couldn't really decide. So,
We
yeah,
make
Darth
moves.
Vader won that.
We change opinions.
Let's
change
choose
opinions.
another.
Where we go?
It'll go to Mark.
Bullshit,
Yeah.
or- All right.
Two more.
One of
Let's
these has gotta be
do
mine.
let's do our quicker explanations.
All right, fine.
That's yours.
All right, who had the purple?
That's me, I think.
Right.
Go ahead. No, you can read it.
Doctor Strange versus Constantine.
There you go.
Oh.
That's
Enjoy that morsel.
which Constantine? We're talking Hellblazer, right?
Hellblazer,
All right.
yeah, for sure. Post cancer revival.
Okay.
So like, no more.
We're gonna go
Hellblazer.
more towards your genre.
You know who
Who's gonna be
Constantine is, though,
splitting
right?
this?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, exactly. Good enough. He
Yes.
knows more about Constantine than he does about Doctor Strange, but he knows something about Constantine. So you get an
I
idea.
know Keanu Reeves played him.
There you go.
That was it.
Well, you know more than you do about Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
What do you know
I'm
about
not up to
Doctor
date
Strange?
On
He's not that
Constantine,
strange.
So.
I mean, no, he is.
But he is lying about his PhD. He's not a doctor.
No,
you
he's
know
a doctor.
He
Oh,
is
he's
a
a
doctor.
doctor.
He's a surgeon. Yeah.
Yeah, he faked it.
It was all a lie.
Yeah.
This
Did
whole
you
origin
notice
story.
his thing is made in crown? I
So
am doctor.
so okay,
This
let's
is I am, not I'm or I am. This I am.
who are you saying would
crown.
win? DK.
Who would win in the fight?
Yeah.
Do you want to let him go last because you both know who they are again? Let's do it that way. I like him being the
No.
tiebreaker because he has no idea.
No,
All right.
I'm saying right
Yeah.
off the bat, I'm saying Doctor Strange.
Fair enough. Why?
Keanu Reeves.
It worked against you in this
Yeah,
instance.
yeah, yeah.
Fair enough.
All
All right, Sinelli.
Keanu.
How do you feel? How do you feel about this?
Doctor Strange. I mean, I think Constantine. I actually think he was more vicious when he knew he was dying right away. You know,
Yeah, you
right?
think?
You know what I mean? Just because he really, I mean, he's always willing to do anything and screw anybody over.
I like a cool, calm Constantine though. That's why I said
Yeah.
that one. You know,
All
I
right,
like
I'll give you
I
that,
like him
right.
level-headed. It's really interesting.
He's still the smartest person in the room. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
because he's fucking clever. That's
right.
why I like him level-headed.
Like
you know?
I gotta go Constantine, without doubt, because he's just he is the smartest person in the room. He's gonna take his fucking cape off him. He's gonna take the eye away from him.
Yeah,
Yeah, Constantine.
fucking
will
gem
win.
of Sidorak.
Right, exactly.
Uh,
Re-break his fucking hands again.
The hoary eye of Hogwarts.
Down to the tiebreaker.
Where you at, James?
Dun, 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 dun.
She has an affinity for Doctor Strange.
I do.
I will say
Oh,
that.
now it's fucking better to Cumberbatch, man. That's
I
sexy.
don't know. I don't know how I feel about
He's
that.
got a funny face, but I thought Matt Smith had a funny face at first too.
Just think.
Yeah,
And
you get
then-
used
and
to
then I
you'll be
would bang
surprised what
Matt
you can get
Smith.
used to.
Yeah.
Matt Smith, I would
Just
bang
before you make your decision, just remember Speed and that movie before you make your
Speed.
decision.
No, I'm sorry.
You got
Doctor
outsmarted by Dennis
Strange.
Hopper.
Doctor
Ben,
Strange.
I haven't seen Cumberbatch as him yet, but Doctor Strange
No,
is
there's
where
nothing
my
up
heart lies. There, like, Yeah, no. Doctor Strange is like the master of many dimensions.
Fuck all that.
Fair enough.
Jack
So-
of all trades,
Constantine
master of none.
can go to hell.
So,
Been there, done that shit.
so Doctor Strange wins.
Yeah, Doctor Strange wins on that one.
My vote.
Yeah.
Constantine.
Of course.
Yeah, right.
Like, so fucking
Absolutely.
Dude, he stood down Superman. Like, he
right.
knows too much. Like,
Exactly.
that dude is a wealth of knowledge that Doctor Strange can't even come close to. No offense to him, but I'll say this much, like...
He's gonna spit in your food next time he comes over.
Who, Doctor Strange? Or
Yeah.
Constantine?
Next time comes to Earth.
I heard what you said about me.
Like if you read Alan Moore's Twilight of the Superheroes, the one that never got published,
Yeah.
he even outwits himself. Like the only person that can outwit Constantine is Constantine.
Yeah, he's just like he's like Batman level genius in a
Right.
very weird way, though. You know,
Absolutely.
like it's a bit of a crazy package, but like he's too clever.
We would split every time.
So it looks like Doctor Strange wins.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tonelli. Let's draw the final. The final. The
That's
final.
yours.
It's gotta be
The
mine.
final.
I don't remember what I wrote. I really don't.
Street Sharks versus Biker Mice from Mars.
This isn't one of your clearly bullshit.
No, I
Classy.
don't. Now I don't remember what I wrote for my clearly.
Classy.
Oh wait, yeah, I did. Yeah, fucking Street Sharks versus Biker Mike from Mars. Do you guys even remember any of them?
I remember both Street Sharks and Biker Mice
I
from
don't
Mars.
remember
No,
Biker
me
Mice
neither.
from
They were.
Mars.
Oh man, they were awesome. I love '90s cartoons because they were so fucking ridiculous.
We're gonna
Because they were
talk
to
about
sell
that
weird toys. Like
next-
that's all they were.
Yeah.
It was just
Next
more
week,
Transformers and GI
We're
Joe.
having a big talk about 90s cartoons, guys, so be prepared for that.
I'm already prepared.
So,
right, me too. Like
Yeah.
that's. I was looking them up and I'm like, fucking Street Sharks,
Yeah.
Biker Mike from Mars.
Yeah.
Like, even.
Do you remember fucking SWAT cats
Yes, I love Smart Cats.
and fucking gargoyles?
Gargoyles.
Yeah,
Gargoyles
that show was
Do you
awesome.
do you remember the Toxic Avenger cartoon?
Yes.
Save it for next week.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Fair
So,
enough.
So we're
Mare.
rich.
So should I start this off
Yeah.
because I know
Yeah.
what they both are?
Yeah.
Street sharks.
Yeah.
Because they're sharks. That's the only point I need to make. They're fucking giant sharks with fucking enormous heads, and they're gonna eat everything.
And they're teenagers, so they're
Like the opening credits, they're just biting through stuff that's impossible to bite through. Like that's all they're doing. Like it's like Street Sharks. They got it. Like done. Like
How
that's
about
it.
you, DK?
I've never even heard of either of them, so I'm gonna
What?
go with Mar on this one.
You've never heard of Street Sharks even? You don't remember those toys? They were badass
They
toys.
were.
Yeah.
And they chomped, man. They were fucking great.
Yeah, they were so chompy.
The fucking I just remember like there was the hammerhead one, and then like the tiger shark, the brown guy, the
Yeah,
big guy.
there was the blue one.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, man, they were fun. I have their names.
I don't remember. Yeah.
But no, man, they were
It
awesome.
was such a fucking weird show. It didn't last long either, but it was fun.
I think it lasted 3 seasons. 3 seasons.
Not long for a '90s cartoon.
No,
Some of
but
that
still.
shit lasted forever. '90s was the height of
3
cartoons.
seasons. It absolutely was.
So
I mean,
you're-
along with like the 40s and the
So that's
20s.
2 for
like,
Street Sharks? 2 for Street Sharks?
For sure.
That's gonna be 3 for Street Sharks, because I never watched the other
Street
one.
Sharks.
And Street Sharks is the shit. So, if they make a live action movie, again, from 90s cartoons, it should be Street Sharks. So please do that. Producers, do that.
Nobody's making a fucking Street Sharks movie.
So it looks like,
In 10
ladies
years they
and
will.
gentlemen, it's time for Clearly Bullshit. This is where we pick.
We'll
a-
do the user submitted.
We will we'll
Do that
read
second.
Yeah.
user submitted, which is the only one. But we
Thanks,
got one.
person.
Thanks that one single person and
Thank
the
you, Jay.
rest of the internet.
Love you, buddy.
This was submitted by Jay Straw. His Clearly Bullshit was Ronnie James Dio's uncle versus Link from Zelda.
Right.
So, how do you feel about that, Tonelli?
Yeah, let's start with Tonelli.
Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? Because I don't even know what the fuck Ronnie James Dio's uncle's name is, but we're
Let's just
None
call
of
him
us
Jeff
do.
Dio.
Jeff Dio.
Jeff
All right,
Dio.
Jeff Dio.
That's officially
All right,
Ronnie.
Jeff Dio.
No, Gregory Dio. I like it better.
Gregory Dio?
It rolls
Greg
a little
Dio?
better.
No, I like
Greg.
Jeff Dio.
Gregory Dio.
Jeff Dio.
Gregory Dio.
Jeff.
He's Irish.
No, what?
He's Irish.
Anyway,
Irish.
so Dio's uncle
Irish.
versus Link.
Does this guy have an uncle?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. No,
Probably
he's not.
No. I'll look him up.
I did my research. Nope, doesn't exist. Yeah. I mean, if he does, like, nothing to speak of.
Oh, well, who's this person? I know Link.
Do you know who Ronnie James Dio is?
No.
He was the lead singer of Black Sabbath and also
And Dio.
Dio.
Oh, it's Dio.
Dio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ronnie
okay.
James Dio.
That's
Yeah.
why you say it's Dio.
Yeah, that's it.
So, Dio versus Link.
Well,
Yeah.
no, Dio's uncle versus
Dio's uncle.
Dio's
Uncle.
dead.
So his uncle's either really old or also dead.
Come on, man, don't be ridiculous. Dio's dead. It's gonna be his uncle if it's anyone.
Why are you looking at me? You said Tonelli first.
Did you say Tonelli first?
I'll go
Yeah.
first. I don't care.
Fuck.
All right, so let's see. So here's the question: do you think Dio's magic is passed through time? Because if it is, it's in the family. Like, and
You're talking the bloodline,
he
right?
knows about wildebeest and danger, and he's flown on the wings of a demon.
Blown on the wings of a demon.
So, I mean, you got to think he's got some sort of magical sword. Like, at least. Like, let alone
It's
a
just
magical
passed
outfit.
down.
You know, Dio just bought shit. Like, it's like anything that might or might not have magical powers. You gotta imagine.
But that's Dio. Do
Well,
you think he inherited his shit to his probably
I think
dead
he
uncle?
inherited his
Absolutely.
magic powers.
Absolutely.
And then, I mean, like, why not? Like,
There must always be a Dio, apparently.
What
Yeah.
if his uncle's estranged?
maybe it's a title that's inherited. Like, there must always, like the Highlander
must be a
thing.
Dio.
Like,
There must be a
maybe
Dio.
Dio's uncle killed Dio to become the next generation's Dio. This is getting very introspective.
Okay.
All right, so wait,
Alright,
what?
so
Wait, so who
okay,
wins?
it
Dio
seems
wins?
like.
I'm just kind of
Dio's
breaking down
uncle?
Dio's uncle in my brain right now.
So are you
Yeah,
choosing
since he
Dio's
doesn't
uncle?
exist.
Well, let's talk about Link
Because
now.
Link also has a sword. Link also has a sword.
I know,
and magic
and
powers.
rupees and chickens.
Are we saying like they're like in a fist fight, or is this Dio's uncle playing fucking Legend of Zelda and losing?
Like
That is an
versus.
excellent point.
Like it's Super
We could
Smash
do it that
Brothers.
way. So you gotta
Dio's
figure
uncle's
Dio's
Jigglypuff.
uncle's at least older than he is. So, like, that's pretty old, man. If that's the fight, Link. If it's not, toss up. I don't know. Maybe
Sorry, my
Dio.
bad.
Oh shit, they're firing.
So if they're
fuck,
playing
we're still
video
at play out.
games, Dio's uncle will lose.
I think Dio's uncle loses either way.
So you're going with Link straight up.
Link
And
straight
you're who are you saying? Who is your answer?
What's the scenario? If I just told you my answer, I said if it's
Well, it's clearly bullshit. So
right, which
it
makes it
has to
fun
be
and
the
interesting.
original scenario where it's James Dio's uncle versus
In a fist
Link.
fight.
I'm
in a
gonna
fist fight.
I'm gonna give Ronnie James Dio's uncle it just because I want him to get up the stones to go fight Link now. Like I want him to hear this and be like, "Wow, they believe in me," and then he
Tonelli.
will go take him on.
No, they don't. He does.
Tonelli,
I'm
how do you
I'm Link all the way
Link
on that
all the
one.
way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Link. all the way.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
are fools.
I'm also gonna go that
You don't know
way.
Dio's uncle like I know Dio's
Yeah,
uncle.
right.
In
Yeah.
both scenarios,
Gregory Dio.
in both scenarios, I'm gonna
He
go
watches
with
martial
Link.
arts all the time.
So it looks like Jay Straw, your prayers have been answered.
Prayers.
Link,
Link.
is the winner.
Is the winner. That is
Now all
the
four
boy
of us will be
elf,
expecting
not
a
the
coffee
one
mug saying
with
Link
dress.
the winner.
Now,
If you donate
let
the
us
pics-
And a thumbs up.
choose
One clearly bullshit.
one clearly
Why don't we
bullshit.
each pick one, and then whoever can get it out first without like laughing.
No,
Just pick
I'm
one.
gonna choose a clearly bullshit.
Go.
No.
Do it.
You pick one.
Let's do this.
It's not mine. I don't fold like that.
That ain't mine
It's definitely mine.
It's definitely-
Sweet.
It's definitely
either. DK's. What do
DK.
we got?
DK has written
What is that?
Gilbert Grape v. Corky.
Fuck.
Wait, Corky?
Corky.
Yeah.
From that fucking Family Ties show?
Yes.
Was this in the book from last week, or is this fresh?
No, this is fresh.
new to
This is
me.
fresh.
This is fresh off the dumper.
Gilbert. I thought it said Gilbert Gottfried at first.
So
and
they're
I'm like,
so they're both well. Corky's actually retarded, right? Like the guy who played him in that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Mentally challenged.
and
Don't
Gilbert
offend
Grape
these
is
people.
like, you know,
Leonardo
it's
DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio playing himself basically. So
hanging out of a water tower.
We're talking,
Yeah.
but he didn't go full retard, right? Tropic Thunder, no full retard.
Yeah, no, he
You
went
never
full
go full
retard. Gilbert. Well, no, Gilbert Grape was Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp played Gilbert Grape in the movie.
Oh, yeah, yes, you're right.
Oh, well, whoever Leo was.
His retarded brother.
His retarded brother.
I don't know, lemon grape.
Grape soda.
Grape soda.
So,
Grape ape.
Mare, answer that
All right, I got questions,
clearly
buddy.
bullshit.
You got questions for me?
I
You
did.
know what?
I got
You need
answers.
to question every scenario.
I'm
Please.
going
to.
By
Has to.
far, I'm begging you.
All right, so Gilbert Grape's brother. Do they have weapons?
If I say yes,
giving them
do I?
weapons?
If I say
I don't know. They
yes,
might have stole them.
if I say yes, do I get to pick the weapons?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're the moderator, man. Like you can do what you want.
Nice. All right. Then yes,
Okay, what does Gilbert Grape's brother have?
a dull, broke pitchfork.
A dull broken pit. How's it
So a
broken? Like in the
stick.
middle, or
A
just
stick?
like he's just got the end of it?
No, he's got like a good I don't know 3 inches of this. Just enough to hold it, but the whole fucking thing itself is all.
Oh, so he doesn't have the end that's just a broom handle.
No, it's not a stick.
All right, and then as far as Corky,
A dustbuster.
Dustbuster.
oh Jesus.
He's retarded. He don't know.
So the
Okay, all right. Where's this happening? Like what's the setting here?
In a Walmart parking lot.
Walmart parking lot. Business hours or afterwards?
Late
There,
night.
Late
is,
night.
wait,
Late
it could
night.
be a 24-hour Walmart.
Is it a 24-hour Walmart?
Yeah.
But it's late night.
Yeah.
Like
Doesn't
what?
matter,
We're talking
just
like
as
3
full.
a.m., 4 a.m.
3 a.m. They got the last one.
This
at
is
Red
a little
Box.
too. This is a little.
This
too
matters,
detailed.
man,
No,
because
this
I want to know how many people might break this fucking thing up before it even happens.
Now listen,
No,
3 o'clock at
it
a
has to
Walmart.
happen.
You
Yeah.
got the Puerto Ricans with their 5 kids pushing the cart wide awake
Yeah.
when they should be sleeping.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So
They
they
ain't
just
breaking
they just
shit
kind of wandered here with these weapons. They found them along the way.
No, they found him in the trash. Actually, Corky took his out of a package.
Oh,
Right,
so
from
he's
Walmart.
stealing as well.
Yeah, he's stealing.
So he's got the Walmart popo on him. So he's a wanted man.
Yeah.
All right. And then interesting. All right. They know they're coming? Like no one has the jump on someone, right? Like
No, a grape actually pushes Corky from the back.
You know.
I don't want to know
I'm giving
anybody
it to
else's
Grape.
answers.
You're giving it to grape.
giving it to Grape 100%. Okay, he's got the jump on him, and he's got a half a pitchfork, like the good half. Like, he's gonna win.
So he's giving it to Grape, and now that he's spent the entire time that we had on Grape asking his dumbass
quick
questions.
answers. You have all
Quick
the answers you need.
answers. DK,
Grape.
what is
it's,
your answer?
It's his question. He can go
Okay,
last.
Tinelli, what is
Grape.
your question?
Just me.
Okay,
Fuck, that was
I'm
a-
also gonna go with Grape because Johnny Depp wins over.
It's not Johnny Depp. It's his brother.
I don't
brother.
know who Corky is. So the Gilbert Grape one.
Yells at me
So
for not
it
knowing
looks
Star
like-
Wars, but she don't know who Corky is.
Looks
I
like
mean,
Gilbert Grape's winning. That edition of Clearly Bullshit.
I mean, the other guy was retarded, unaware, and had a dustbuster. Like, he's obviously lost and stealing. Like,
In a Walmart parking lot at 3
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning when nobody's going to break up this fight.
So
I don't think anyone.
Gilbert knew what he was doing. He dug through the trash to get a weapon first.
now
Gilbert.
now it has come time to cut to a review of Last Night on Earth. And we're back, and we're gonna review Last Night on Earth. It is a co-conspirator game where half of the players go against the other half of the players. Half play zombies, half play heroes or survivors, and you have to survive the night
Horde
with zombies.
survivors.
And we played last week, so now we're gonna review it. Rating system is as follows: we rate consistency, aesthetic, fun, difficulty, and our overall recommendation. On a scale of 1 to 5 stars, half stars are allowed. So, consistency. We'll start with you, Mare.
Mm-hmm.
What would you give Last Night on Earth in sense of consistency? Now that you've played it a few times.
4.5. We played it a few times, and every once in a while a game ends up running pretty quick just because of the scenario didn't work out and someone got unlucky. But yeah, I mean, it's solid though otherwise. Like all the games kind of last about the same length. Yeah, 4 out of 4.5.
4.5 stars for Mare. DK, what would you give Last Night on Earth in consistency?
I'd probably go to the same thing, 4.5. As Mar danced like a monkey.
Also 4.5 from DK.
Yes.
Any backing to that statement? You can back your word up there, bud. Your rating. Why? Why 4 from 5?
Because I want to play it right now.
Well, okay. I think that
But
would
not
be
like
more,
right now.
I think that would be more of a
No.
4.7.
Like, I do want to play it right now, but what's not giving it is that at 5 is that I haven't mentioned it until now.
Yeah, you had to
feel
be
the need to.
reminded.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
now,
well.
now I just want to play it.
Fair enough. What am I here?
Man,
What the fuck?
I thought I
No
silenced
phones,
that shit.
Tonelli.
Is this
Really?
yours in
Would
your
you take
lap?
your
I am
phone
the
on the
social
Jimmy Fallon
media.
show?
Yeah,
So,
probably.
I would too. I'd
We
be
landed the
bored.
Fallon show?
No, not we.
Oh.
He.
so
Hey,
Tonelli,
Good job, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
happy
it.
what
for
would
I don't know
you
why I'm on there.
I
give?
bumped him last week.
Oh, fuck yeah.
What would you give Last Night on Earth, consistency-wise?
All right, I played it the one time. And
Well,
it was
how was
pretty
the
cool.
consistency of the game?
No, it was. I'm gonna go across the board. Let's go 4.5. I definitely. Yeah, no, it was good. It was a good time. Fuck it, that's my excuse.
Retain the fun throughout.
Yeah,
We
like,
played,
yeah. There was no no pauses, no lulls or boredom.
Not too boredom.
Yeah, I didn't fall fucking asleep doing it.
There you
And
go.
I was high, and I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, see, Tonelli and I played as the zombies. And gross, I just saw his butt. And
Gross.
we played as the zombies. I prefer to play as the zombies
Pull my whole ass out
in
if
this
you want.
game. Oh, that would take days.
Kiss my ass with tape.
I'm gonna give the game. It's always pretty consistent with like not being bored. It doesn't last too long, and I'm gonna give it a 4.5 as well.
That's fair.
4.5 across the board, guys. Let's rate the aesthetic of the game. How does the game look? How does it feel? How do you feel about the pieces? Mare,
5.
5.
I like the fact that you can paint the pieces. They leave room for improvement.
Totes.
But in a good way, like they're all like 3-dimensional, like plastic pieces. They have a good weight to them. They
Yeah.
sit well. And yeah, let's eat candy bars on the air. That'll be fun.
Oh, back here.
I'm picking it up, man. The second you picked it up off the table, I heard you.
There's 2 fucking bags and knots over here.
Deal with it.
Feel free.
They're there for torture, not for eating. But yeah, 5. And all the pieces are cool. Like, there's a good amount of pieces. There's not too much going on. The board design is really nifty because it changes every time or based on the scenario.
That I liked.
Yeah, I like the scenario cards. I like the character cards. They kind of get you into it. And also, I like that there's realistic photos of all the people. Like I was saying before, they actually, every time they would go to cons and like show off the game, they would bring those people dressed as those characters. And it's a pretty cool touch. I think it's interesting. It really gets you deep into it.
Right.
And yeah.
So 5 from Mare.
5 for sure.
DK, aesthetic. How the game
Same.
look to you?
Same.
5?
5. I like the fact that, like you can switch up the board a lot. Like, I mean, you probably already mentioned that. I just wasn't really listening.
Wow.
Well, there's like bags opening and
Dude, I managed. I have all that in here.
and
I'm trying.
It didn't drive you to want candy because now I want a piece, but I'm not getting up. My want for candy is about a 4.5.
4.5, 1 for candy. Fair enough. Bring the sack over.
Well, let's see what we got here.
That is
But
a
yes,
sack of candy.
I
Like.
found it.
There's 2 bags and a knot, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I found it all.
So DK, what are you
Abused
giving it
hand,
for?
you took it.
Fuck.
5. Okay, he's giving 5.
Yeah, I gave it a 5. Like I said, I like the fact that like the board can switch up. It comes like 6 pieces.
It's the one centerpiece that has 2 sides, and then
4 corners?
6 additional corners, but always 4 are on the board at once.
Yeah.
So it gives a little bit of randomness there.
And I like the fact that, like I said, you can paint them. Yeah.
Which we haven't done yet, but I'm very excited about doing.
We definitely will.
You guys want
Tonelli.
to have a painting day?
Yeah, let's totally do that.
Well, yeah, we'll do it on the air.
Yeah. That would be
Tonelli.
boring.
It looks
Aesthetic.
terrible. No, I'm again 5 just because that board changing is really cool. I think that's a really interesting aspect for a game.
Can't wait till you play House on the Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Should do that after this.
Yeah, let's
So
play that next.
We can
But,
do it next week.
No, yeah, it was just overall to the eye, it was very pleasing. Very pleasing. What about you, Jane?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to give it 5 too. Just because I love painting minis.
Right.
And I can't wait to paint them. And also, yeah, the game felt good. The art was good. It reminded me, a lot of the pictures reminded me of Magic cards. So,
Right.
I'm going to give it a 5 too. So 5s across the board. Cool.
Nice.
Fun. Let us rate the fun of Last Night on Earth. Mar.
5.
5. That was
Either
easy.
side, the zombies or the survivors, it's fun. It always, it's a very balanced game. Like, everyone has just an equal of a chance. There's always random bits, too, that can get frustrating, but it always balances out, usually, in one person's favor or the other. But it's never too tipped in any of the scenarios we've played so far, which we played a lot, which range from, just straight up survivors versus zombies, who can kill who the quickest, and then it has other stuff where it's defend the manor, someone has to get a certain number in, the other people have to keep them out, or finding the keys and the gas to gas up a truck and leave the town. It's a lot of things. It's interesting.
Okay.
It's very fun, and I think it stays fun, which is the best part, from game to game and during the game.
Very
It's
cool.
not always the same game twice.
Not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a few games like that. You will enjoy. DK.
That's my name.
No, it isn't. It's just an abbreviation.
His name is
So, fun. How fun.
I can't wait to hear that.
How
post.
fun. How fun.
5. 5. 5.
Gracias, sir.
No, I just put a Starburst in my mouth.
Yeah, she got me with the
I
Twix.
brought
last
these
time.
home.
I mean, it's a fun fucking game. I mean, it's something that you can just, whatever, like, you get bored.
There'll be so much plastic on this.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
Sorry.
It really is.
We shouldn't be doing this.
You went for the foil one, at least. That'll be slightly
Ladies and gentlemen,
quieter.
there's a giant sack of candy on the table.
Yeah, they
It's
put it in front
Halloween,
of me.
kids.
It's Halloween candy.
You put a bowl of chicken in front of me last week.
That wasn't my fault. I gave
All
her
right,
chicken.
so,
she decided to make it.
All right, fair enough.
DK gave it a 5. Tonelli. Fun. How fun was it to you? Fucking badass.
Like you watched me put it in my mouth. I'm going 5. Listen, I don't want to hear how you suck cock. Calm down. All right. Dirty
5.
little whore.
Why 5? Why 5? Why? Why 5?
Good word association.
Yeah, right. No, I mean it was. It always kept it interesting. It was always interesting. There was no, like I said before, no lull, no boredom, no in between nonsense where you're waiting on crap. Even when it wasn't your turn, it was still
Yeah,
it was still
until it
the
was
time. Stop throwing your hands up in the air.
Okay,
Wait for
so
it to just not tear.
5 from Tonelli.
Hey.
Game's fun to me as well. I love playing as the zombies. The only thing is sometimes I do get a little ADD when, because the zombies can only move one space at a time, and you move a bunch of them, but they're all just like...
Yeah, but we had like 30 zombies in that one space.
Yeah, it's true. We did have a lot of zombies, but we also need to get a bigger zombie pool too, so...
There's tons of expansions for
Yeah,
that game.
we'll have to
you can
get an
expand both
expansion.
the board and the zombie pool. Not only that, but zombies can have weapons in some of the expansions, which makes it interesting. More heroes, more weapons for the heroes, new missions, scenarios.
I'm gonna give Last Night on Earth actually a 4.5. just because sometimes it gets slow for me. We played it a bunch.
Well, you prefer to play the zombies, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but playing the heroes was worse for me. I was like,
We only played the heroes once. And
Yeah,
that's when
but-
he beat us in like 10 minutes.
yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
enjoy
so of course
playing
you have a
the
bad
heroes.
opinion of the heroes.
But I do
I had an
like
awesome time being the heroes last week. You wanna know why?
90% of the time.
Really?
I really love the game. So 4.5. Difficulty. Let's rate the difficulty of the game, like how hard it was to pick up. 5 if it was harder to pick up. 1 if it was easier to pick up. No, wait. The other way around. Scratch that. Reverse it. 5 if it was easy to pick up. 1 if it was harder to pick
I
up.
don't think of that category that way. I just think, like, how do I feel about, like, did I like how difficult it was? Like, because certain games, like I said, you go in there expecting it to be difficult, like, you know, like Arkham Horror. It's like, that's a difficult game. You were going in there, like,
Oh,
knowing it's
God.
difficult. But what?
That game.
Oh, yeah.
I love that game, by the way. It's
You
like,
do,
That's like
yeah.
my favorite board game.
It's crazy, but it takes like 6 hours to play. So
Yeah.
it's a difficult game, you know? So you gotta, like, it's not so much, it's like, that one is hard. Like, it's rated like a 1 for how hard it is if you're doing it that way. But I like how hard it is, you know? It's supposed to be. But in this case, it's a super easy game to pick up, to play. The book
Absolutely.
isn't big. It's like, especially if you have someone that knows how to play, like, showing you, it's super easy to pick up either side. So yeah, I'll give it a 5 just for ease of play. Like, it's super easy and super fun.
5 for ease of play.
It doesn't get watered down for, like, as much as you can do as both the zombies and the heroes. Like, it doesn't get watered down with rules.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5 as well. It's probably the one and only board game like we've gone back and played that we haven't had to like really go back and read the rules at all. Like,
It's pretty, like, you just pick it up.
yeah,
as
we
you
were
play.
able to tell Tanaya how to play without even looking at the rule book to like remind ourselves.
Yep, they give
So-
those little rule cards, which make it super easy for the
Yeah.
turn breakdowns, because there's phases.
So I'm gonna give it a 5 as well.
Yeah.
5 from DK. Tanelli, how do you feel about the difficulty of the game?
I think we're all singing the same choir.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No,
First
I mean,
time play,
first time
jump
playing,
easy.
and it, like you said, DK, you guys didn't even have to look at nothing. I mean, that was spot on. I mean, I mean, within 2-3 turns, I had it. So
Yeah. And there's questions every once in a while, but the rule book is super comprehensive. You can
Right.
find it in like a second. It's not hard to solve any problems.
I just want
Exactly.
to go back and say I loved how they just let 2 of our characters do whatever they wanted, and like they focused all like 90 fucking zombies on 2 characters.
Yeah, and they got totally distracted because of it.
Yeah,
That was a good play
Well-
by us.
no, it was.
Good for
You
you.
want
Good
high
for
five
you.
about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just fucking this next time.
Good for you, okay?
Doesn't
We're getting sponsorships.
I'm gonna give it a 5 as well, just because, like you guys said, it's easy to pick up. It's easy to, it sticks with you. You know, you play a couple times, you know how to do it by heart. You don't gotta think about it. Okay, so recommendations.
Leaving that in.
To the person that you know would enjoy playing board games like this, what would you recommend?
I just, personally, I give it a 5.
5.
Like, I could play this game with anyone. Like, anyone. It's so easy.
5.
5
we're
from
all
all the
5.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
So easy, so
I
fun.
would recommend it to someone who's not even like a board game person.
Someone who plays like Boggle, I'd recommend this game too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if someone told me their favorite games were like crosswords, I'd be like, dude, you would love.
Whose favorite games are What's your favorite board game? Crosswords.
I didn't say board game. I said game.
game. Like
Yeah, that's my buddy.
everything.
That's my buddy at work. He
Yeah.
literally goes to the bar just to do the crosswords. Like that's what he enjoys.
Yeah.
doing the
See,
crosswords.
if I seen him, I'd be like, dude, I got this game you would love.
Yeah, it's well, not exactly. It's sort of like crosswords.
Yeah, it's sort of not really.
Instead
like
of letters,
crosswords.
there's zombies, and instead of boxes, there's survivors.
Right.
Instead of
Sort of.
questions, there's
So,
weapons.
There's dice.
It looks like 5s across the board
Yeah.
here, because I would give it a 5 and Tanelli would as well. So
Right.
5s across the board recommendations. Not really
See,
much
no-
math I gotta do here.
I gotta point this out just because I'm probably gonna be new to almost all the games you have over there.
Yeah.
But maybe we should play a board game like, well, I don't know, I'll go out and get it or something that somebody recommends that's new to all of us.
That'd be fun.
because then, I mean, you're talking, because you've each played that game how many times? You know what I mean?
Honestly, I just got that in December.
You know
but
what?
even still, I mean,
How
at that-
about-
even at that point?
How about
times, right,
we
yeah.
how about we try to reach out again here to the community? What would you guys
Yeah,
suggest?
all you people. I mean, I see we got some people in Ohio, Illinois, I mean, Nebraska. Give
Yeah,
us some
all over the
fucking-
place. Florida,
Give
like
us some recommendations.
you guys
Yeah.
are liking us on Twitter, but do you really know what we're talking about? Hit us
Are you
up on the
really listening
Twitter
to us, or do you just
Have
wanna
you
follow
made it
one
this
more
far?
person?
at Wizard Nerdcast. Find us on Facebook, the Wizard Nerdcast. Everything's Wizard Nerdcast. We're the third option down
Or
when you
Google.
Google us. So
Yeah.
look us up.
Yeah,
Tell us
fuck you
what
first,
you
too.
think. Like us on
We're coming for
Facebook.
you.
Follow us on Twitter.
And Instagram now.
And Instagram now too. We'll be posting pictures of all our cool nerdy shit. So you guys will enjoy
of
that.
our beards. We'll post a picture of our beards.
Yeah,
Hey, that could be a T-shirt, a silhouette of our 3 beards and her hair.
that'd be great. That's actually pretty good.
I like it. So
Look for that in the near future.
Yeah, right.
That'll
Should be in a line, just like straight down.
Yeah, straight down.
Yeah.
It'll be the wizard staff. R3.
He has gemstones in his staff, the shape of our beards.
No, but let's do that. Somebody give us a board game,
Yeah.
and
We'll check it out.
We'll play it. And if you give us one that fucking sucks, I mean, we're gonna let you hear about it.
For sure.
Oh, yeah,
You're
we're
gonna
gonna call you
know.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're calling you out
we're
on
gonna
that.
tell you about
Choose
it.
wisely.
So make
Now
sure.
no one's
We're
gonna
gonna
do it.
use your name.
Should I not say Scrabble?
Wait, you guys want to play Monopoly?
Yeah,
actually I do.
Monopoly.
Let's play
I don't have
Monopoly.
Monopoly. Like, I want it, though.
So
We could review Monopoly.
They have a Marvel edition of Monopoly.
They have a
Yes.
Marvel. Yeah, there's a Marvel version
So,
of
final
everything
scores here. Consistency, we each gave it 4.5 across the board. So, 4.5 it is for consistency. Aesthetic, 5s across the board. Fun, pretty much 5s across the board. I gave it a 4.5 for a 0.7, so 4.5 there. 5s across the board for difficulty and also for recommendations. And the final score overall that we gave last night on Earth, 4.7 stars.
4.7 stars. Done. Excellent. Well done. What's next on the agenda? Oh, yeah.
A word from our sponsors.
We have no response. It's just going to be dead air for 2 seconds.
That's
and
what,
then
that's what we should do. Word
Yeah.
from our sponsors.
Word from our sponsors.
sponsor here.
No marketing.
Yeah.
Call us
Good
at.
people over there.
Yeah.
Anybody that would like to sponsor us,
Really.
So,
message us.
Lansing Knights fucking softball league. You want to sponsor us?
we're,
we'll fucking take you on.
and so that's it, beloved bromios. The conclusion of this week's Nerdcast. Stay tuned next week to hear us rant about more things that your cool friends could care less about. Until then, this has been Jane
Marion.
DK.
Tonelli.
for Wizard Nerdcast, the only podcast bound in human flesh and wrought in human blood. Signing out.